to you. The class 2 alumni who are currently being accelerated at Mass Challenge. This is Jorge, Deborah, Imo, and Christian. So tonight they're going to talk about what they did before they came to the bootcamp, what the experience at the bootcamp was like, and more importantly, what happened during the bootcamp. And then after that, after the bootcamp, why did they decide to do what they decided to do, and which led to their being accelerated right now at Mass Challenge. So Jorge, take it away.
Yeah. So, 1 year ago, I was sitting there, okay, this is after the scavenger hunt, and after the information, ConquerX worked all the way to there. So it's a great journey this last year. So I would like to introduce these three guys. In Chris was in class 2 with us, Deborah in class 2, and Imo in class 1. So can you introduce your startup briefly? Chris, for example.
So yeah, hi, I'm Chris. I'm the founder and CEO of
Take the microphone.
sorry,
Is the microphone?
is it me?
There's a lot of feedback.
Yeah, I know. So try again. So I'm Chris. I'm the founder and CEO of Mattress.com. As the name suggests, we sell mattresses that are highly personalized based on your individual body data. Um, I'm from a company that is distributed in the German bedding industry. And actually, my journey before the bootcamp was more like I was doing a master in economics in Sweden, and right in the middle of my writing my master thesis last year, actually in April or May or something, my brother, it's my co-founder now, approached me and said like, hey Chris, look into this, all these US companies, they're raising an insane amount of money and selling mattresses that are compressed in boxes and they sell it directly to consumers, right? So I was like, okay, look into this. And it was like kind of amazing what kind of margins still these startups achieve, even though they kind of position themselves as the hero of the industry, skipping traditional retail and selling directly to consumers. So this was actually the time when I looked into entrepreneurship more instead of like thinking of pursuing my like consulting career or something, because I wanted to end up actually in brand consulting. I had like an offer back in Munich, I'm from Munich, on the table. So actually my journey started with edX, like I think most of you guys did also the online courses. I did like the 102, 101, actually 102 until today verified, 101 not. And then I got the invitation, right? Like, hey, you did this verified course, apply for the bootcamp, we're doing this the second time this year. So I took actually the stuff I produced in the online course and sent it in. And then had the pleasure to talk to Chicho via Skype. And yeah, so this is why I ended up in the bootcamp last year. And we did pretty well. So this gave me personally the confidence actually to say, screw it, I go in on this now. We have the patent already on this product, was invented by my father, but no one ever used it, like the product design, because the industries are really closed. Every player, like the normal players, stay where they are. So you have like 2, 3 major players. They are acting globally, like Tempur-Pedic, everyone knows Tempur mattresses, and other two. So we said, why not? Like, you know, my father, like in the 80s, he actually established the first like discount chain. You know, this maybe here are sleepy, so he did this in the 80s, 90s back in Germany and in Austria. So I said like, yeah, why not like giving it a shot and like trying to bring like one product that really brings value to people and actually changes something in the industry. Um, yeah, so I flew back actually to Germany for 3 weeks, enjoyed the Oktoberfest, met some people there, and then actually came back in October last year and stayed until Christmas, and like wanted to get connected more in this local ecosystem here in Boston. Actually, to be honest, it's my only network I have so far, so that's actually the reason I came back to Boston. And of course I checked out New York, but actually, honestly, I like Boston more than New York. New York is just too everything for me, too loud, too dirty, too much, too all that. So besides that, I came back to Germany real quick over Christmas. Came back with my brother as a co-founder in January, and since then we're here. And yeah, we are in the process of actually bringing the product to the market here, we learned over the last 3-4 months that it's actually not that easy that we thought. Even though we are like kind of familiar with the industry, we know what kind of players there are, what kind of people we have to talk to get like certain foam, get certain mattress covers, like all the stuff you need. And it's like even more closed here in the US because you don't have like country borders that you have in Europe. So in Europe it's like if you like try to get certain prices from this or this suppliers in Switzerland or Austria or Spain or Germany, they don't know each other, so you can like play around and you can source stuff where it's better, but here like everyone knows each other, so it's a bit of a different story. So we learned that. We were like, hey, we know this stuff, right? We grew up with that, but yeah, you always learn. You have to be open to learn stuff. Yeah, and then we applied to Mass Challenges, so that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
So I also I took the training online as well with your customer and bring me to the bootcamp in Imo. How was your story?
So hi everyone, my name is Imo Etuk. I'm the co-founder and CTO of mDocs. mDocs stands for Mobile Doctor, and so what we're doing is building a one-stop shop for chronic disease management using mobile and web platforms, and we're doing this in Nigeria. So my journey, my background is primarily in engineering. I do have an MBA, so my background primarily is in engineering. For me, entrepreneurship has always been dear to my heart, something that I thought you were born with, and obviously that's really not the case. And so I found this program actually by chance. I have colleagues who are alum at MIT, and they suggested, hey, there is a bootcamp going on at MIT. If you want to really build out your entrepreneurship skills, you should take a look at that. So I applied here, and I had the pleasure of speaking with Chichu as well on Skype, and I applied and I got accepted. So that's 2 for Chichu now. I applied and I got accepted.
I see your pattern here.
Yeah. So I applied and I got accepted. When I came here, my mind was very open. It was a tabula rasa. I actually sat over there as well. And our startup here at the bootcamp was to connect the visually impaired to on-demand services. Very big problem to solve, but it was a problem that was actually very needed in the community. At Bootcamp, I learned the importance of teams. I'm sure you've gone through all the, trying to select your teams now. I can't overemphasize how important that process is. You just have to make sure that you have the right, mix-up within your groups. And, it's going to go very fast. It's 1 week, but it's very intense. Get to know the members in your teams, because you're going to have lifelong bonds with them. Really, it's incredible what we've taken from here, and we still keep in touch here. So I applied there. My journey after bootcamp also gave me the confidence to apply for more competitions. We got some seed funding, and we applied to Mass Challenge. So it was just, bootcamp, business plan competition, Mass Challenge. So you could see there was an upward trajectory there. So that's my journey so far.
So, and Deborah, what is your journey? Okay.
Hey, hi. It's a huge pleasure to be here, just to start. Like I said in the beginning of the morning, I'm from Brazil. I am a biomedical scientist. Before the bootcamp, I was doing what every biomedical scientists do, research. So I'm from the academia world. I did my graduation, I was in the master, I was doing happily my PhD. One day I discovered that I want to do more than just papers. I was feeling that the research is amazing, and I want to do something with that research, but the science is not giving me that. So I discovered that I needed to go to the entrepreneurship world to make this science a product and really help people. But in Brazil, and biomedical scientists, people don't teach entrepreneurship for us. So I was looking for really to learn. When I arrived here, really learn everything that was possible. I like the example that Andrew gave here with the video, the guy that just say, hey, I have a nanotube, I have a graphene, it was exactly me. I have this product, and we did this research for 5 years, and blah, blah, blah. So everyone's going to buy. It was exactly me when I arrived. In the middle of this process, I wanted to learn entrepreneurship. I wanted to start my startup, but I had some difficulties in Brazil. It was very hard to join the academia and the startup. So one day my professor said, oh, you go to one, or you're going to the other. So I need to drop out 2 years of PhD to start pursue entrepreneurship. So I was in a very bad position at the time. I applied to the bootcamp. One friend recommended for me to see the entrepreneurship course online and apply to the bootcamp. I got an email that I was accepted, then I didn't got the money to be here because it's always that, right? So I was like very, very bad. I'm a love addict, I think. I was in a very position, bad. One day, my phone ring, and I was like, I don't want to pick this phone, probably something people selling thing. It was actually Chichu giving me the scholarship to come here, Chichu again. And then I need to say to you guys that this program changed my life. It's not just changed my week, but my entire life was changed by this MIT program. Before started, I met Jorge on the hostel. I think most of you have been in the high hostel here, and we spent, I think, a lot of time talking. And here, we decided to start a team together.
Yes. In my case, I talked to Andrew, not Chichu, but he didn't give me the scholarship. Yeah.
So talk with Chichu.
So you already talked to Chichu. Congratulations. So in my case, I've been working in the corporate world as a business development manager with sales, but I was not. Well, I was happy, but my life wasn't meaningful for me. I was not chasing and pursuing my dream. So I quit my job and I created a cybersecurity startup. And I took the training online because I want to learn how to grow my startup using the MIT methodology. I read the book and everything. One of the before coming to the bootcamp, I had one concern because I say MIT. I say it's going to be 50 developers and 1 sales. So I have nothing to do there. But then I learned the hacker, hustler, and I think we did in our team, and I think it's the key ingredients. It is full of hacker, it's going to be a problem. If it's full of hustler, it's going to be a problem. So if you come out with a great balanced team, something I think will happen. And then let's go for after the bootcamp. Okay, what challenge did you face? How did you overcome those challenges? How was your life after the day 1 after the bootcamp, Chris?
So after the bootcamp, I slept.
Good answer.
Injured.
So like actually not here on my mattress because to be honest, the last night I pulled an all-nighter, so I just presented, went home, and actually skipped the boat party. Slept actually, but I showed up in the club, so yeah. So I slept a lot. So, but yeah. Besides that, I went back to Germany. MIT, like the bootcamp, gave me the confidence to raise some family and friends money and like go all in for my own career, but also like with money from my family, so to say. To work more on this project, and I didn't know actually back then what this was or where the goal was or something. So actually after the bootcamp the real work starts. The bootcamp is actually kind of an enabler, like setting your mind free, even though you don't maybe end up working on your own idea this week, but hopefully you get something out of it. So this means connections, but also knowledge, and you learn something about another idea, industry, whatever. Biggest challenge after the bootcamp was like team, I would say, for myself. doesn't matter if you like win something here or not, but you think like, yeah, I was MIT, it was great and stuff, and you say like, yeah, people will like join me anyway, you know, as like, because I'm saying, hey, I was with my idea at MIT, and like everyone's like, awesome, where can I sign up? No. So team is the number one ingredients, I would say. If you have a great team and you have like a diverse skill set and people trust each other, like trust is, I would say, the keyword for me personally, then you can do like whatever you want, you know. I heard actually in Silicon Valley a story, a funny thing, like people like just created a team, didn't have an idea at all, and raised some money, and then like, you know, they checked for some like industries where they can like find some gaps. So team is number one, I would say. This is like my biggest challenge still.
But so just to jump on or build on what Chris said, for me, it's funny, it's the same type of thing. For me, it's also about teams. Even after the boot camp and having all that bravado to go out and conquer the world, you find that you still have to like assemble the right team and the right mix of people to be able to actually tackle that problem. And for us, you know, I'm based in South Africa and the business is in Nigeria. So on the African continent, there's a dearth of skilled developers there. And also the time zone challenges, working in all the zones makes it difficult to work with a developer elsewhere. That kind of stuff you need to bring in-house. It's not enough to have a dev shop somewhere and have them build a product for you. You actually have to have the team in-house so you can iterate on the idea and build it quicker. Because as you're building, you're solving for what the customer wants. So you're speaking to the customer every day. You're going back and you're iterating on what you've learned. So teams, I can't emphasize that enough. If you do find that dream team here at MIT, stick together and just make sure that you guys stay in touch, because once you leave here, finding that team outside is very, very difficult. So that's the first thing. For us, the second thing is funding, obviously. That's always going to be a startup's challenge. Once you pass the seed, the friends and family round, you know, now the real work starts. You now have to go present your ideas in front of investors. And it's, you know, if you don't have the right team to begin with, then they're not going to give you any money. So those are the two challenges that we have.
So in our case in ConquerX, we founded the dream team in the boot camp. So all the ConquerX team, it was Alumni.
Yeah,
so Deborah.
Yeah, I think that I told you that the bootcamp changed my life. I didn't mention about our ConquerX company. We have a company that develops a device that can screen and detect 18 different types of cancer in early stages just with a sample of blood. So I arrived here with this idea. I've tried to construct this business in Brazil before, but I didn't succeed. So I was trying to learn entrepreneurship, and I met Jorge in the hostel, and we create our team to work in the bootcamp. And they advise that everybody says not work with your idea, because you'll be very attached to that, including me personally. And then we start to work with other team idea, and then it fails because it could happen. Okay, we could pivot in the middle of the week.
We pivot very
pivoted the
fast.
first day,
Yeah.
and then we decided to start with my idea, and we end the bootcamp. And when we end the bootcamp, we realized that we work very well, and we were second place on the competition. We were very proud of the work. I could see the passion and the other bootcampers. So I already met Jorge, and then we have Jacob from Slovakia that will arrive any moment today here, and we have Toyum from Vietnam. And then I was thinking, okay, I have this idea. I met these people here in bootcamp. We worked well for 7 days, 5 days safely. And why we need to stop to working together? I don't have a team. And when I arrive here, I think that I will learn the skills to be entrepreneurship, but I learn more than just the skills. I realize that the team is the most important part of the business. It's not the idea, like you guys were saying. So we finished the bootcamp, and then, okay, you live in Spain, I live in Brazil, Tonyo is from Vietnam, living in Texas, Jacob is in Slovakia, but we have Skype, we have WhatsApp, we have Facebook, so let's continue the work together. So we continue after the bootcamp. We talk. I could see the passion of the guys. I think they could trust me in the technology. We have a balanced people in the team. We back from our homes, and then we completing now 1 year that we're working together. So it's our very nostalgic moment to be here today, because we born here in MIT Bootcamp, our team.
Ago.
Yeah, born here. And in this beginning of the year, we decided to apply to Mass Challenge and other competitions as the guys. And we got in the Mass Challenge. We just moved to Boston now and planning to stay for more time after that. So, like I said, it was life-changing. I met my dream team here on MIT.
Yeah, but that for me also what's really important, because we did all the 24 steps. So after the bootcamp, we have a primary market research. We talk with potential customer, with industry expert. We have a business model, some knowledge on the regulation, on the US market, some number, total addressable market. So part of the business you will make in this week. And also in the judges are professional investor, so we have a professional feedback, and the feedback was very positive about our startup. So it's like it is not a real scenario, but it's almost a real scenario out there. So you are going to have a great experience, and if you find your team, you can create something amazing and impact that you can create your startup and your team.
Can I just ask a question? So
please.
You're talking about teams, and we are just in the process of forming teams. So can you just help us with the team that you had, with their roles? Who was the hipster, and how did you manage that? And what I feel is that more than so whenever a company is formed, I think the core values of the team members should match. So he talked about trust. So on that line, so there is a core value thing. There is something aptitude in terms of diversifying in the fields in which they are. So where do you rate this? So two different questions. First, can you just help us with the team that you had, with their roles in mind and responsibilities you assigned? And secondly, what do you weight more, the core value system association or expertise in particular field?
I can answer the team on what we did. And we draw in the board, the hustler, hipster, passion, get it done, and then we hunt people. So we have a hustler already, now we need a hipster, now we need a hacker. So I was literally going, hey, do you have a team? What do you do? What do your professional? So we were trying to join at least one hacker, one hustler, or somebody that maybe think that was a hipster, because it was hard to find a hipster.
Yeah.
And to balance that, to not have a lot of hustlers or another leadership, or even the opposite, not have leadership at all. So I think this is a way to maybe hunt or maybe draw that and see who the people will be responsible to be the hustler and the hacker, and actually put the roles. You would need that on startup. Democracy not even works. See Brazil, for example.
Yeah, we have the roles there. We decide, let's say, the hacker or CTO, and we decide who was going to be the CEO right from the beginning. Imo?
Yeah, for me, I would say try and find common ground, right, in terms of what industries you're all interested in. For me, it was healthcare. So I tried to align myself with a healthcare team, knowing that, what will carry me through is my passion for healthcare. Even though like team dynamics sometimes get a little rough around the edges. You just want to make sure that your underlying passion is something that you actually care about. So that when you go into that team, on day one when you guys are whiteboarding and then, fires break out, you actually have that passion to actually carry you through. And also consensus is also a very good thing within that team. Just make sure that, once you designate who's doing what, those positions stay as such, but when you need to make a decision, there should be some kind of consensus building. So that's my 2 cents.
So I would say, does it work? So I would say, find, the thing is, you have to realize it's just 5 days a night, so you have to make the best out of that. And as I said in the beginning or before, ideas are like not so much worth here. Like find like your first mate, and then you attract the third person, and then you actually, when you're like this close with this two or one like, you know, like a small team, like a small group attracts other people then. Actually in my case it was like that I guess it's kind of the same thing like what happened last year. So you actually pitch your idea and people give you points and everything like that. So, but you will learn about that later, I guess. So actually I wasn't one of the top 10 or something ideas, but actually Jonathan Marcus, he approached me and said like, hey Chris, your idea is so awesome, I want to work with you on that. It's like, oh wow, really, that's amazing. So we actually were not on this top 10 list, standing in the front and like, you know, attracting talent, so to say, and pitching our idea again in like a bigger pitch or something. So find the person that you think is nice or you want to work with and you think you have common ground, as we heard. So this would be my advice. And then like you find your third person like real quick, and then you go like around and recruit the missing link. So like hacker or a hipster or a hustler or whatever you need. Yeah, this would be my advice. Like work with someone you think is like somehow connected to you or you like or whatever. I guess you already connected somehow, so you probably have an idea what I'm talking about.
I want to add something. The question was the challenge that we had. Maybe during the bootcamp, we will have a lot of challenge, like the guys are saying. For example, who here is not an English native speaker? Raise your hands, please. So this is a simple problem that you're going to face. Communication, okay? So I was terrified when I arrived here. I was like, okay, look at me when you're talking, because the first time that I'm in a crowd of people. And sometimes it will be harder for you to express yourself. And then you will enter the part of the personality. Some people are more introverted, some people talk loud. So this is one challenge that you will face. So the most important part of this whole process, learning, of course, and the team. If you have people that you can trust, because no matter if, in the Chris case, he has an idea and finished the bootcamp, he's don't found a team here, but he's working in his idea. Imo doesn't work in his idea here, but now he's applying what he learned here in his company. And I and Jorge and Jacob and Antonio got to meet the team here. So we learned how to manage, we know how to stop the conflict here, and the team part is the most important part to overcome the challenge.
In our case, after the bootcamp, we start working in a digital world in Skype. So Deborah is from Brazil, I'm from Spain, Jacob is from Slovakia, and Antonio is from Vietnam. So we have different, English is not our main language, of course, and also we have different way of communication and different culture, and that will create some problem in the team. So at a certain point we have to address just communication problem and different communication way because of the different culture. I'm from Spain, I love to talk. Too much, maybe Jacob not that much. So, but we have to address those problems, and also we use like a methodology. It's the how is the about this functional of a team. I don't remember the book. Okay, but there is one point that is artificial harmony. So it's not good having a team with an artificial harmony. Everybody agree, everybody's amazing, yes, we are the best. No.
It's a fake team.
It affects
yeah, it's a big problem.
Right. So let me just jump on that. So I think if you're, I mean, like you're absolutely right. You only have 5 days here. If you guys get into a room and everything is kumbaya, it's not going to work. You need to just get everything out there very early. If you're going to have fight early. And so you can fix it, because when you form teams, it's forming, norming, storming. I don't know what the thing is, but those are the pathways, right? So you have to make sure you just get in there and you get everything out, everything's out on the floor, you guys have fights, you guys will bond later, and you'll be all better for it. Versus it's day 4, it's been kumbaya, and now a fire breaks out. And then what do? You have one day to present. So just make sure you get it out of your system. Somebody's annoying you on day 1, just get it out. That's my advice.
More or less, how many people in each team on your bootcamp?
In our team, it was 6.
Yeah, we had 4.
We were 5, and we actually got a 6th person in because one team actually crashed. So they put people in other teams then, yeah.
It will happen.
But he added real value. I was like, in the beginning, he was like, you know, and this is like the funny thing, like this dynamic, like he was actually like kind of stealing time because he was like then starting bring this dynamic into the team, like, yeah, maybe we should try something else, like another idea, and I like said clearly we're already like working 2 days or something, 2 days, 2 nights on this kind of thing, and we cannot do this. So you have to be like, you know, you have to fight. So.
Okay, we'll have a few more questions and then we'll transition into.
So there are 4 different profiles: hipsters, hustlers, hackers, and
Hackers.
yeah, hackers. So how do you map these profiles to the positions in your team? So, for example, there is a technical company, you know, that you're making. There's a technical product around which you're making your team. So, is it that since the major part of the product is technical, so is it so that the hacker or the CTO gets to be the CEO or what?
Yeah, I'm CEO for my company. I'm the scientist one, so supposed to be the hacker. But I am the hacker actually. Jorge told.
We have approved.
Jorge has leadership skills, sales skills. He's our strategic. We have taken from CTO, like in the hacker position, Tonyo in the operation. I think it's a mix that you need to follow by the person in the technical startup. You will need someone that have the hacker one, but not necessarily these people don't have the skills from the hostler. So maybe map by the passion, the half and half, like Jorge, and what I don't have as a strategic one, he brings at the company as chief of strategic. What I don't have, I don't know, with Get It Done, Tonyo brings with the operation. So that is a way to measure. I don't know if I answered. Maybe some guys want to complete.
So I personally think you need like this 3 or 4 roles. Actually, to be honest, I don't know like the 4th one. Like it was created by someone. So CEO is like the hustler guy, right? Hustler because he is like willing to spend the extra mile. Like he's staying there. He's making sure like the thing is running smoothly, kick ass, and whatever, you know, what it takes. And the CTO role, so to say, the technical role, is there to make sure the thing actually works. In my case, CTO role, of course, you can think of mattresses. Yes, this is like something technical, but also like the data science behind it. Like we actually put data from you as a consumer and translate it into mattress. So like actually our product is actually pretty techy, kind of. And I need this kind of skill because I'm not a techie person, but I learned in the bootcamp that I can kick ass and I can motivate people and I can bring them to think again and again and again and discuss stuff so we can actually make stuff happen and bring it to a next level. So this is what my takeaway is. But you,
So one last question.
yeah.
Briefly share one worst moment or conflict that you had during your time at the bootcamp.
The most what?
We have one.
Can you repeat your question?
Could each of you share like one worst moment or conflict that you guys had?
Only one?
I don't know what's his opinion, but my opinion was before the pitching day, we were practice here in MIT, and one of the team members was very upset and said, I'm going home. And was like, hey, we're going to pitch tomorrow, it's the demo day, and blah, blah, blah. And he actually arrived late at the demo day, so it was like, what are you going to do, and so on. I think it was, we had conflict, you all guys will have, and if you don't, ask you again if you're telling the truth, okay? But it was a moment that you say, okay, this is too much. It was hard, I think. I don't know if you agree with this moment. For me, it was this 1 month.
Yeah. We have the first one, who is the user, who is the customer, who is the. So tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, we had technical difficulties on the day of pitching. One of the team members that had the slide didn't show up, and so yeah, so it was pretty. I mean, everybody was upset, but we were able to still pitch. He came in right. Sorry, somebody else went in front of us, and we pitched after he came. We couldn't reach him, so make sure that everybody has everybody's phone numbers before now and before the night of. Make sure multiple ways of communication. Make sure that actually you open all those channels up.
Yeah.
So Thursday night was like the peak of like certain team dynamics within my team. So one person actually dragged another person like away, and like there was like kind of a fight between 3 people, 2 against 1, and I was like speaking to them, and actually another 2 guys just went into like a whatever getting like advice on the pitch or something here. I didn't know about it. They came back like, like the pitch is like crap. They kind of like bashed us, and like, okay. So we get into the feedback, and like I said like this other 2, because they were like just distracting the others one. I said like, okay, you know what? You're like maybe whatever, tired, go home, whatever. And we just checked the feedback, and we then decided to redo the entire pitch like at 1 a.m. or something. And I said to my teammate, Jonathan, like at 2 or 3, like you go home, sleep a bit. I finish the pitch, and you like do the lead on the pitch. And I just presented actually 1 slide about the product, because I couldn't like speak about it even while I was like falling asleep. Yeah. Yeah. So this was like the worst.
Yeah.
Thursday
we were
night.
practicing the pitch like 3 a.m. 3
Yeah,
times there the day before, and also we get the feedback from the judges before the pitching, and we have to do the financial projection like 3 times at 3 a.m. in that whiteboard. I remember perfectly. 25 million, 7 million.
50 million. 50 million is enough.
So part of the team was here with the financial, part of the team was there with the pitch. So amazing.
My last advice, my last word on this is like, always think like 1 level above it. What is the worst thing? What could be, like what could be like even worse from this point here? And like then you just like you can relax,
But be fine after the bootcamp. You'll be for like have a pathway of 2 sides. You have some knowledge to go through. You have I don't know, team or even people to talk about. So enjoy the opportunity to be here on MIT. It will be hard, right?
Enjoy the
ride. It will be amazing.
Yeah, have fun. Most importantly, have fun. It goes by quickly.
And also, if I may say, Jorge and Deborah here in official capacity as mentors will pick the brains. And I don't know if you guys want to come back and visit.
Yeah, we'll stop by.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, thank you very much.